Hi, I'm Carl, and in this video we're going to have a look at questions 50 to 52 of section 3 of the pink booklet. So questions 50 and 51 are about this graph here. So we're told that there's this thing called diapause, which is when an insect stops growing and developing. And so then there was a study done that had a look at how hours of daylight per day affected the percentage of these flies in diapause. So that's the graph that I've copied out here. And question 50 says 80% of the fly population grows and develops when the number of hours of daylight is what? So the difference between something growing and developing, well, it's obviously going to be the opposite of being in diapause. So if 80% of them are growing and developing, that means 20% of them are going to be in diapause. So we just need to have a look at where that intersects on the graph, which is right here. So out of the 3 or 4 options we've got here, there's only one that sort of falls within the range where that value would be, and that's between 14.5 and 15.5 hours daily. And so that means that the answer for number 50 is going to be C. 51 then says, for which of the following does the largest percentage of the fly population grow and develop? So if it's going to be the largest percentage of the flies growing and developing, that means it's going to have the lowest percentage in diapause. So going through the different options here, we can see 0, there's probably around 55% that are in diapause, so that means there is going to be 45% growing and developing. If we look at 6 hours then, that would bring us up here, and that means there's about 10% growing and developing. If we look at 10 hours, that's going to be 0% growing and developing because they're all in diapause at that point. And then for 14 hours, it's going to be around here. And again, that's around 10% growing and developing. So this is answer A, and it's got the highest percentage that are growing and developing, and that's the largest percentage of the fly population. So that's going to be the answer in this case. 51 is going to be A. So moving on to a different question now, this is 52. We're told that there are these 2 base fragments that I've copied out here. So there's this 12 base DNA sequence, and we've got 2 parts of it. And it says the 2 fragments represent at least what portion of the sequence. So there's some overlap between these. So what you could say is you've got this whole sequence here, and we'll just draw it as a line. Each of these is just going to be like a portion of that line. And there is a possibility that these portions overlap, or they could represent the entire 12 base sequence. But if there is an overlap, and from the answers we can assume that there is, we need to work out what that biggest overlap would be, because then that would be the least amount that these represent. So where is the overlap? Well, we can draw it out like this. If I were to draw out the first one, and then the second one, you can see that there is an overlap here, and that gives us 10 bases in a row. So that would represent 10 out of 12 of the sequence, which is answer C. But there's another overlap too. So if I draw out the first one again, and then I draw out the second one, you can see there's a bigger overlap here. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in that sequence. And that's going to be 8 over 12, that portion of the sequence. And that's the biggest overlap that's possible with these 2 sequences that were given. And so that means that the 2 fragments represent at least 8/12 of the sequence, which is answer A. So question 52, answer is A. So that was questions 50 to 52.